YouTube, what the crap's going on? Heir of Carthage here, and I am back with the, well, in Total War Rome 2 with one of my faction focuses, and this time we'll be looking at the Nervii, which was a faction added in the Caesar and Gaul DLC. The Nervii are an interesting barbarian faction, and they also have access to a special general skill type, one of the few that was introduced in Caesar and Gaul. Not sure why these things didn't find their way back in Hannibal at the Gates, but oh well. This one gives you the special abilities of Force Concentration and Fighting Spirit, and I'll discuss what those do when you're in battle. Obviously, I'll use that general type within the battle that I go fight. They have access to a variety of sword units. Fierce swords are pretty good bang for your buck, but then again, so are Celtic warriors. They're not going to have real high attack, but they've got sturdy weapon damage. Guerrilla swordsmen are similar, except they cost more, of course, because they have the stalk ability and can deploy anywhere, I believe. Yeah. And then, of course, you have Oathsworn, which is going to be your stable unit that you can kind of rely upon to be stronger. Spear-wise, Levy Freemen are a great price, just a terrible attack. They do get a good bonus versus Cav whenever you hit cavalry counter tactics, but they are very weak and feeble. Naked Spears are going to have quite a high attack for a spear unit, and they also have cavalry counter tactics and can be quite brutal if they get mixed up with cavalry. But they have less armor, and it's going to make them vulnerable to missiles, and they also have low health, which is going to make them vulnerable to cav charges as well. So keep that in mind. They do have Spear Brothers, which is kind of a mix of a little bit better attack than Levy Freeman, lower attack than the Naked Spears, and of course better armor and melee defense. Again, though, fairly low health and fairly low morale for a unit of, well, I guess not really for a unit of that cost. They have access to decent skirmishers. They do have this unique unit here, which is the Gallic Hunters. These guys can fire whilst hidden. They're the only unit I know of in the game that has that ability. I don't think any of the others do. But, I mean, with only 125 range, I don't see how it does you a lot of good. I think it'd be cool if they changed this unit to where it had like 175 range or something like that. Something to be more interesting. It's already an archer unit and not going to be highly effective, and it costs a lot, so I do wish they'd change it. They do have access to decent skirmishers, though, a couple of different varieties, and then they have Celtic Slingers, which are kind of a baseline slinger. They have access to Light Horse. Mighty Horse is actually one of my favorite units that they have to offer. It has a bonus versus cav and a melee attack that's pretty solid for the price, as well as good health and decent armor. So this is a pretty good horseman for the price, and then, of course, Noble Horse, which is going to be their, heavier, more reliable unit. I think it's time for us to go try them out in the battle and see how they do. I'll go hopefully pick us up a quick battle here quickly, and not as long as it took last time. Oh, sweet, good, right in. No idea how this is going to turn out again, because of course I'm just playing these random and live and on the spot. So let us switch over to the Nervii. The map is Migdol. I actually really like this map. Let's see, what army does it give me? I like the Oathsworn. I like the other sword units. Decent spears, decent cav. I think it's a little too heavy on some of these units that I don't need. And I'm considering whether or not I want to potentially rush the Romans. Whether or not that would be a good idea. I could try to rush the Romans. Oh, Parthia. Well, that'll make it easy for me. Oh, sarcasm intended. Alright, Parthia. This is going to be interesting. Really wish you hadn't done that. But whatever. I'll do what I can. Do what I can. So Parthia is likely composed of lightly armored troops, but their horses are going to be heavily armored. Naked Spears are going to be poor against a charge, which means Spear Brothers are probably going to be my best bet, and they are not much of a bet. But I will bring a nice, good bunch of them here. Maybe not that many. Let's get some Mighty Horse, a couple of Light Horse, and then sword units are not going to be a huge concern for me. I am going to need a fair number of slingers, though, because he can have access to his own slingers, which are better. Actually, I mean, do I really want to do that? He's going to come cav heavy. If I support my own cav with spears, but how am I going to get to his foot troops? That's the problem. Also, how am I going to get to his horse archers? His own archers or slingers could easily defeat what I can bring. No doubt about it. This is going to be challenging, folks. This is going to be real challenging. Parthia's just got huge advantages over the Nervii. Saying good luck, have fun. I still don't know what I want to do. Wish I had a little more time to think about it. Alas, I do not. Honestly think I'm just going to pick up a few more spear units and then toss in some Celtic skirmishers to help deal with elephants. Got a couple of light cav and some heavier cav. I don't know if this is going to work, folks, but I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to go spear heavy and hope that the Parthian didn't bring a bunch of swords, which they can. That's why this battle is going to be challenging. He could bring elephants, he could bring swords, he could bring hoplites, he could bring horse archers. I don't know what in the world he's going to bring. My guys are not overly well armored. So if he's brought a spam of archers or horse archers, I don't have any way to get his horse archers. They don't have access to dogs. Could have brought slingers, but he could have very well brought his own slingers, and then mine would have gotten beat down. Maybe I should have anyway. But then if I wasted money, I don't know. This is just a challenging game, and Heir's probably about to get his butt splattered. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Said good luck, have fun, so I'll say you too. My opponent's not yet in the game, though. Why Parthia? That's probably just my message that came through. It is. Why Parthia? Why indeed? Of all things, why Parthia? Okay, well, maybe by some odd chance I can get lucky. I'm going to hide a light cav there. I'm going to hide a light cav here. And I'm going to start off with my spear brothers in kind of a big line. And then I'll put all my heavier cav right behind them. Need to save these guys ammo. Okay. No idea what to expect here, folks. Just have to play it by ear. And the Parthian army. Persian light archers, Eastern spearmen, 2 cataphracts, noble blood cav, 2 cataphracts, noble blood cav, or Median cav. No elephants that I can see. The real question is, can my spear brothers take out his Persian hoplites? And the answer is, or no, those are Eastern spearmen. Good. His infantry is not my concern then. His cavalry is my concern. Okay, let's get into these woods for a little bit of cover against his archers. And perhaps... Trying to think what I should do with my light cav. Obviously my light cav would ideally be used to get his... I'm going to sneak forward right here with that light cav. I'm going to keep this one where it's at. Okay, I've gone into the woods to gain some protection versus his archers. His Eastern spearmen should be easily defeated by my spear brothers, but he's no doubt going to run from the fight. But if I can engage his men the way that I want to, it's possible I could pin his cav down. Let's do this. Let's use my light cav as a distraction. And while that's happening, let's just go into a bonsai charge up front.
Units have been discovered.
Ready! Wounded! Orders! Mudako! Battle ready for the gods!
Okay, I've got some of his cav giving chase.
Spearmen ready for battle! Spear brothers! Spears ready! Spear brothers! You have our spears!
Okay, he's going to run away. How did his Median cav catch my light horse? Gosh, that's irritating. I'm going to try and chase off some of his cav. This is probably not going to go the way that I want it to. But if I can pin his eastern
The men are wavering.
spearmen here,
Our general is under attack.
look at my spears. They are giving his cavalry a hard time. Okay, I got my light horse in, and we actually did rout some of his infantry corps. We've got to just go for it, chase these guys down.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
I'm going to try and finish off this cataphract unit while I have an opportunity. I did get a really nice rout on his infantry corps. I need to run down the stragglers. I'm going to actually come try and avoid this. I might pull this off, folks. That chain route might do it for me.
We have discovered the enemy's hidden units.
I'm going to take on this noble blood cav. Keep running down his fleeing units, see if I can chase his general off. Let's get into the back of these cav now. Let's get our spears back in. There is some small chance, folks, that I might be able to pull this off. And I do mean small, but
flee the field of battle.
I'd sure like to go for it. I've almost caught his general here. He's going to have to micro to save it. I need these cav back in the fight. Let's get rid of these Persian archers. Some of his units are fleeing the vicinity because of my spears. Let's get rid of those Persian light archers. I have caught his general.
The battle is turning in our
Wow.
favor.
This did not turn out like I thought it would. That gutsy rush of his center paid off. I was able to get lucky and catch my opponent off guard. Still feel like I'm pretty lucky that he didn't bring elephants to this battle. I'm going to try and finish off his...
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Get all my units back over here. Wow. This really worked out well. Really worked out well, very surprisingly. Not your typical use of the Nervii. My opponent admits defeat there. Yeah, sorry if I didn't get a lot of close-ups and I was kind of quiet there. I was just trying to figure that one out. And that chain route of the Eastern Spearman in the center could not have been more perfect. That it really worked out well. You know, I was kind of wondering what to do with that light horse, and I realized he's running from my spears, and if I used it to just temporarily pin his Eastern Spearman so that my spear brothers could catch up, and it did the job very beautifully. And then my spearmen didn't do fantastic. Some of them did better than others. I mean, 140 kills here, respectable. It just really allowed my my light horse to mop up a lot of unit here. And then this noble horse got some kills. My skirmishers got some important kills. Some of these were on Hellenic or on cataphracts, royal cataphracts and eastern cataphracts. So that came in really handy. It's just the biggest part is his spears got no kills, his archers got no kills. One unit of his cataphracts did, and then one unit of noble blood cav, and then these guys did decent. So really an interesting game there. Not what I expected. Hope you all enjoyed that one. Let's get back to the custom battle screen though and just kind of discuss it briefly. So in this case, I think obviously not your typical matchup of the Nervii against Parthia, but I guess if you get creative, you can improve your chances, though I wouldn't say to expect that. If he would have brought elephants, that would have been over quite swiftly indeed. Elephants are more expensive now, though, so understandable that he may not want to bring them. He was going cataphract heavy. But as you can see, the choices I made there, swords are unnecessary, basically, against Parthia. They do have swordsmen, and he could have brought them. But most people steer clear of Parthian swordsmen because they don't tend to do too well in an infantry dominance role. In this case, they would have done well because I brought all spears, but no doubt my opponent probably felt that since I was bringing the Nervii, that I would bring some swords, at which point he would use his Noble Blood Cav to destroy them. A good thought, because the Noble Blood Cav would be quite capable of doing just that. But I brought all spears, changed the game. Looked like I was going to have to play defensively, but again, got into that forest, made a quick decision to, hey, I'll try and screen on the outside with my spears, with a few of my spears, rush his center, see if I can break him up, and get lucky that his micro wouldn't be able to keep up, and in that case it worked. Great game to my opponent. It was a fun matchup. As much as I didn't want you to pick Parthia, it created something interesting. As far as who I would use the Nervii against, obviously they're going to be fun against other barbarian factions or Iberian factions. I like using them against Rome just for kicks. Rome is definitely a stronger faction. It'd probably be fun to use them against other factions like I did just now. It'd be fun to play them against Greek factions. They would definitely be a challenge against the Seleucids, Bactria. It'd be a challenge against Rome, of course. I'm trying to think who else. Egypt would be a very challenging one for them to beat. But all in all, a fun faction. Hope you all enjoyed this. Heir of Carthage signing off for now.